Hey guys, Empowering True Crime Alex here, and I wanted to talk about the Nicola Bulley case and information and what type of information that the police should be giving out in an investigation. So yesterday, the police had their press conference, and they actually came out about an hour after the press conference or thereabouts and stated that the vulnerabilities and the reason why she was high risk from the beginning is that she was apparently had been an alcoholic, or I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that like that. She had a drinking issue, and they did mention alcoholism and related to menopause. Now, here's the thing. What they were talking about, and then they had a wellness check earlier in the month. Nicola Bulley, by the way, if you don't know, is a 45-year-old mother of two, and she went missing on January 27th. It's been over 2 weeks that she hasn't been seen, or when she was last seen. And so she ended up, it looked like there were some mental health issues. That was the point of what they were trying to say. The thing is that, there's so many issues with this. One, they didn't bring this up from the beginning. So they kept on, the police's main working hypothesis was that she had fallen in the water, and they've been searching for weeks. The thing is that she ended up, if there were these vulnerabilities, then what does that mean? There could have been maybe she was potentially, maybe somebody could have taken advantage of her. There was foul play. Or she may have left on her own volition. And because there were some issues, she was working through. And then, so they don't say anything. They don't share anything for over 2 weeks. And then when they do share, they overshare. For example, they didn't even have to say the alcoholism. They could have just said that there were some mental health issues, or some stress, anxiety. They didn't have to. Why did they bring up menopause? Alcoholism related to menopause? As if women we already have enough issues we got to worry about. There's another case about postpartum depression, right? Like enough stuff that we got to worry about. Women's issues that we got to worry about. For them to bring up alcoholism tied to menopause was strange. So it was like they don't share anything for weeks, and then when they do share, they overshare. That's the problem I have with that. They could have said it in a different way. And the other thing is that, what's the stigma? If they would have just said this from the beginning, then it would have avoided probably a lot of speculation, right? And it's just because she has the mental health issues doesn't mean that it's going to be a suicide related case. There's a lot of other things that it could be, right? Like I remember I was reading about this at the same time that I was doing a video about the anniversary of when Elisa Lam went missing at the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles. And her issue was that she was bipolar, and she had gone off her meds. So it wasn't that she was on drugs, she had gone off her drugs, and that had caused the type of bipolar that she had caused hallucinations and a form of psychosis and things like that. I'm not a therapist, but that's my understanding. That could have, that was probably what caused her to go up to the water towers and go into the water tower. And so could it be something similar to this, And we don't want to speculate, right? But when you know the information right from the beginning, the right information can help you find the person. I was just reading about somebody who stated that when autistic people go missing, the first place that they go is, at least people who are trained, go to bodies of water. Why? Because autistic people, when they go missing or when they leave, a lot of times it's because they're overwhelmed and the water calms them. Well, so if you're saying, hey, this person goes missing, right, it's having lack of that crucial information. In this case, with the autistic example, that the person is autistic, now like while you're calling the police, you can also have somebody go search the local rivers and lakes and bodies of water, right? So having that type of information is crucial. And another person that I felt compelled to bring up as well is to Trinity Backus, which was I think she was 15, but she might have been 16, 16-year-old, 15 or 16-year-old girl in Nevada County, California, who also went missing, and she ended up being found dead, unfortunately. And part of what happened in her case is that she was on some type of hallucinogenic drug. And because of that, if they had put out that information from the beginning, and I'm sure that they didn't put out that information because she's a minor, and they didn't want her to be potentially taken advantage of further. But at the same time, because she was on that type of a drug, if they would have mentioned that sooner, perhaps people would have gone out instead of thinking, oh, well, maybe we'll wait because maybe she's a runaway, or maybe she just ran away from home, or maybe she's, you know, being a rebellious teenager. Well, no, she's on a hallucinogenic drug and time is of the essence. And so that's what my big gripe with this case, with the Nicola Bulley case, and of course, props, of course, to everyone searching and all the news, all the law enforcement. But really, they were making this like time is of the essence to find her in the river, but also time is of the essence to find her in other cases, right? And so they were pushing the primary hypothesis is that she was in the water. Well, what if she was elsewhere? And, you know, I think what knowing that she might have had these mental health issues, to me also puts further up on the list the fact that she could have left on her own, right? Still vulnerable, right? So we still need to find her. Hopefully she gets found soon. Either way, but at least that hypothesis maybe is a little bit more strengthened. And then there's other places. Well, where would somebody leave? Where would somebody go, right? On their own if they voluntarily left. So we don't know. It's hard. We don't want to speculate, but it's just hard not to. The thing is that they put out this information, the police put out this information about her mental health issues because of the speculation and misinterpretation and misinformation that was being put out there. And so my thing is, put it out from the beginning. Why? Because it's going to come out anyway. It's going to come out anyway. Right? Like, no matter what ended up happening, it's going to come out. So it could actually help the person. So as a media expert, my recommendation is to try to be as transparent as possible whenever possible. And there's a balance, of course, of wanting to be mindful of the person's background. But you know what? Sometimes it's going to come out anyways. It usually, and I'm not going to say usually, it always comes out. All the stuff comes out. So if something can be said up front that could actually help the person, then, I'm all for being more transparent and giving more information that won't, of course, hurt the person, right? But that's all I wanted to say. It was just this parallel between other cases and media not putting out information. And I really hope that it isn't like a Trinity Backus situation where she was found a few days later, sadly deceased, and perhaps there might have been more urgency if people had known that this 16-year-old who was vulnerable was actually really, really vulnerable, meaning she was actually on hallucinogenics. So anyways, that was a sad case. And prayers, as always, to Nicola's family. Prayers that she's found soon, hopefully alive. And either way, that she's found soon, she's brought home to her family, and that there are answers for Nicola's family. All right, everyone, have a blessed day. And appreciate if you leave a comment what you think about this video and this topic. And while you're down there, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more updates on the Nicola Bulley case. All right, coffee still's not done. So thanks for the cafecito break with me. Mwah.